Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So today is a different type of video than I normally talk about. I don't generally discuss music too much on the channel, but today it just feels right because I'm going to be talking about some movie soundtracks that I found recently on CD. So between like the thrift store and Second and Charles, they had a whole bunch in their clearance area. So I spent either 50 cents or $1 on all but two of these, which I'll talk about as I go on here. So very cheap finds. I have 7 different soundtracks that I found, so I figured I'd share them with you guys. Now, admittedly, I wanted to initially do this as like a YouTube short, but I couldn't fit 7 soundtracks in under a minute. So I figured I would do this one. This will probably be a shorter than average video for me, but hopefully you guys are okay with that. So if you do enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That really does help me out as I continue to grow. I really appreciate all of your support. But with all of that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my movie soundtrack haul. First up is a soundtrack from one of the greats when it comes to TV series. This is music from The Wonder Years. So you can see some of the songs on the front there. Actually, that might even be all of them. I don't know. But on the back, it has the entire track listing. There's only 10 songs on this one, and they are just like kind of staples. Tequila is on here. Ends Up with Joe Cocker's Little Help from My Friends. Like, just some awesome music on this. Now, this is one that the CD was released in 1994, I should point out. So after the fact, this one doesn't have a ton on the inside, unfortunately, but you do get some pictures from the TV show, so that's always cool. But yeah, this is kind of one of the smaller releases, I guess I'll say, out of the 7 that I found, just because it is only 10 songs, but that's okay. Still really cool to have music from The Wonder Years in my collection. So yeah, that's the first soundtrack I found, and I only paid $1 for this in the clearance bin at Second and Charles, so a really good deal for this one. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should not have called this just movie soundtracks, because there are a couple TV soundtracks in here as well, because that's what this is. One of my all-time favorites, Friends. This one was also released in 1994, and you can take a look at that track listing on the back there. It does have the like the TV version of the theme song, but then it has the long version as well, wrapping it up. This one has 13 different tracks on it, and you can see all of them there. Just a really good one. Opening this one up, you do have some art on the inside. Let's try to get this open because there is just a bunch here. Hootie and the Blowfish is on here. Like, just very early 90s, which is exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, this is really fun. Lots of pictures from the TV show on the front and the back. So a really cool insert for this one. Yeah, so Friends, like I said, it's one of my all-time favorite shows, and it has some awesome music that is super nostalgic. So I had to pick up Friends. Okay, so all of the rest of these are all movie soundtracks, I promise. And the first one here is from the thrift store, so this was only 50 cents, which is awesome. This is William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, music from the motion picture. You can see the track listing on the back here is great. There is, what's on here? Garbage is on here, I believe. Yeah, Everclear, Gavin Friday. Just an awesome set of 90s music from this. So what year was this one released? I do not see. 1996 is the year for this one. You can see the CD there, which looks awesome. And then this has an excellent booklet. So let me try to pull this out here so you guys can see it. There are a ton of pictures from the film itself, which is always cool. But yeah, this is just an excellent booklet. So definitely want to show that off. And then on the other side here as well, just lots to read, lots to look at. So yeah, just a great piece of physical media for the collection. And like I said, I found this at the thrift store. So it's hard to find good soundtracks at the thrift store because everything is just so thrown around, at least in my local thrift stores. So the fact that I came across this, happened to stumble on it, I was very excited. So yeah, a really great soundtrack here. William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, music from the motion picture. Next up is from the David Fincher masterpiece. This is original motion picture soundtrack for Seven. So this one is from 1995, and it has a really interesting track listing on the back here. Just a weird album. Marvin Gaye is on here, Billie Holiday. The final 2 songs are actually part of the score for the film. So it's a really unique motion picture soundtrack that I'm happy to own. This one doesn't have virtually anything on the booklet, so I'm not even going to bother pulling it out, but I will show this is the most interesting it gets for the booklet, but that's the CD itself. So yeah, just another great movie. So I figured I would pick up the soundtrack since I found it for so cheap. So the original motion picture soundtrack for the David Fincher classic Seven. This one is awesome, and the fact that I found it for $1 is really remarkable. This is one that I've talked about a number of times recently. This is the album for Godzilla 98. So you can see the sticker on there, just some of the track listings: Wallflowers, Rage Against the Machine, and then look at the back here. This has a really good set of music on this one. So I'm sure the CD was released at the same time as the film, so I'm guessing 1998. But look at this CD. Like, that is fantastic. The colors on that are excellent. And this one does look like it has a bit of a chunky booklet here. So let me see if I can get that out real quick and open it up so you guys can see it. Another one of these fold out ones. Yeah, more with some kind of doctored screenshots from the film, which is really cool. And then on the back, you have the green screens here, or the green screenshots. So yeah, that looks awesome. Like, just a really aesthetically pleasing release this one is. So yeah, I figured you guys would love this one just because, like, look at that. That is awesome. So yeah, very excited for this one. I just recently purchased this one on 4K. I found the novelization for it. So I've just had a lot of Godzilla 98 in my life recently. So, and it all started with this guy here. So that's really cool. Godzilla 98, the album. These final two albums, I actually went into the soundtracks section, so out of the clearance area, and paid full price for them, but they were still really good price. But these were both soundtracks that I distinctly remember owning in high school and just listening to over and over and over again. Not only are they films that I love, but I love the music on them as well. First up is music from the motion picture of The Matrix. So turning this one over, you guys have to see the track listing. It's awesome. You have Marilyn Manson starting right at the top there. Du Hast is on here from Rammstein, which I think is the first time that was introduced to me. There are just so many great bands on this. Deftones, Prodigy is on here. Rob Zombie's on here as well. Like, just an excellent soundtrack. I used to listen to this one all the time. I loved it. This is actually... There were a handful of CDs that got stolen from me when I was in high school. And this was, this one and the next one were two that I was super disappointed with, that ended up being stolen. But you can see the inside a little bit smaller than the other ones, but still there are, you know, pictures to look at, which is always cool. So yeah, this is just, I love the music to this. So I had to pick this one up. I was actually surprised because I went to the soundtrack section specifically looking for this one and the next one I'm going to talk about. And the fact that they ended up having both was really awesome to me. So yeah, the first one is music from the motion picture of The Matrix. And the second one, and the last soundtrack I ended up finding, is music from and inspired by Resident Evil, which of course was an absolute favorite of mine in high school. And so I had to buy the soundtrack, and it is excellent. Another one with some Marilyn Manson on here. Slipknot is on here. Coal Chamber, Saliva, Method Man, Mudvayne, like just a awesome rocking, like metal / hard rock soundtrack. So I was all about it. I loved it. Opening it up on the inside, there is the CD itself, and then let's try to get the booklet out. So I tried to start it before I started talking about it, but that didn't work. But anyway, let's get this open here. So what do we got? So just the track listing on the inside, but then we do have some stills from the movie itself, which is always just a favorite of mine. I love this movie. So yeah, this is just another one that I remember listening to over and over again when I was in high school, and I see why. Like, it is an awesome soundtrack if you like that kind of music, which I do, so it worked for me. So yeah, this one and The Matrix were two of my favorite probably CD soundtracks that I owned, and so I'm very, very happy that I was able to find them both again and add them back into the physical media collection. So Resident Evil, music from and inspired by the motion picture, is the last soundtrack I was able to find. All right, so there they are, all 7 movie and TV soundtracks that I found recently for really cheap. It's funny, somebody was asking me recently if I collected CDs, and honestly, I don't. With music, I tend to just stick to Apple Music. I pay a monthly fee, and I just use it that way. I stream it, which is unlike the other things I do. I love physical media, but when it comes to music, for whatever reason, I'm okay not going physical. I can do digital. But when I find some awesome movie soundtracks, they have to be added to the collection. So that's what I did here. And when they're that cheap, why not go for it, you know? So yeah, really excited that I was able to find these because I don't often look for them. So let me know down in the comments below, what are some of your favorite movie soundtracks? I would love to hear your favorites so that I can look for them next time I'm out and about shopping the soundtrack section. So let me know those down in the comments below. As always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below and maybe consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube as I make my march toward 1,000. I really appreciate all of your support. short. And like I always say, I don't just talk one media type, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, music apparently, manga, graphic novels, collectibles. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.